two, you know, like stuff like that. So I am doing the exercises, and I understand, yeah, I got to play with the metronome a little bit more, and I am, but I'm also, you know, conscientious about the metronome and getting clean notes. And the first year you don't get the clean notes. You get some clean notes. You know, there's certain, like when you well, again, I'll do it till I get it clean. You'll see what I mean. This is every beginner ever. There's a little bit of a miss or something, but for the most part it's not bad, because 6 months ago when I started doing that, it was yeah, well, that actually sounded really cool there. No, I can't do it again. Pretty clean, but you know, when I started it's a little bit messy, so I got to work on the start. Right? So I know that, but once I get going, it's not so bad, because again, 6 months ago was, you know, it's all over the place, right? But so my start is still not perfect yet, but my legs are not, they're relaxed, my arms are relaxed, my hands are relaxed, no injury, no tensing up here or whatever. Although I should stretch a little bit more before I start playing. I still got to learn how to relax a little bit more when I do that. I need more tension on my string. I don't have quite enough tension on the springs there on my pedal boards, so it kind of slows me down on that quick little, you know. So yeah, these are all the exercises that I'm doing, is different, you know, foot patterns and stuff like that. But that said, I can't do everything just on the double bass either. I do have to get back to the snare stuff, right? So past couple of weeks, like for example, one of the hardest things you can do, I think, with a single pedal is triplets, right? I can't do them yet. I can do the double, but I can't do the triple yet. Your single foot as much as you work on the double pedal. You got to work on the hi-hats as much, whatever. So really crazy ostinatos and all that stuff is like year 2. Not year 1 is just keep it 2s and 4s. You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't try the other stuff, but don't overwhelm yourself with trying too much too soon. So for me, I know what I don't know, that the stuff that I am trying, okay, is feasible, it's doable, and it's improvable. And not only that, it's progress. So year 1, you're gonna suck, no matter what. But people looked at my video from when I was on my 2nd week to now, they're like, wow, you definitely improved, right? So you can self-teach yourself. The quickest way is have a teacher, man. That is the quickest way. But get the teacher that's going to teach you where you want to be in, say, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. Get there first. Like, focus. If you want metal, do metal. If you want jazz, do jazz. If you want to be a country guy, do country guys. You want to do other stuff, fusion, whatever it is. Focus on that stuff first. Make that your main meal on the plate. And then from there, You can choose all kinds of other things such as you know, okay, I'm you know doing really good with the double bass pedal, and you know, I could do all the Slipknot songs. Okay, no problem. I could do all the Led Zeppelin, John Bonham stuff. Okay, no problem. I can do you know, whatever. You know, all you know, I could play like Lars Ulrich, whatever. No problem. Okay, I got all that. Okay, well maybe I'll try you know, some jazz stuff or whatever as an add-on. But you get good at what you practice. And it's the same for the guitar, same for the bass. If you want to be good at slap bass, you gotta practice slap bass. You want to play good metal bass, you gotta practice metal bass. You know, you want to play, you know, screaming flying V guitars. That guitar is really awesome, by the way. And get sweep picking and all that, you got to practice it. Right? You want to be a mandolin shredder, you got to practice it. So that's where I'm at. So year 2, when I lay out my practice, so for year 1, just as a recap, I focused on, you know, fundamental rudiments. I was starting to do videos on them, but I'm going to do them all over again because I wasn't good enough to actually do the videos on them. So I thought, okay, well, wait till I get each rudiment down, all 40 of them down, you know, perfectly, and then start incorporating it into, here's the rudiment, here's how I'm going to use it in a beat, right? And that's, I think, where you get the most learning, because it's the same with the guitar stuff. Like when you learn guitar, like music theory, it's not that you're going to use music theory all the time consciously, but subconsciously, you, like, for example, with guitar players, it's learning the modes. You know, like you can learn scales, but it's really the mode that you're really after. If you want the song to sound scary, or if you want it to sound happy, or if you want it to sound sad or happy or whatever, you know, space age, whatever. I'll give you an idea. You listen to, say, most death metal songs, you're probably listening to like a Phrygian mode, Hungarian minor, whatever. It's one of those scales, you know, but like a Phrygian mode. It's like horror movie sounds, right? Sad horror movie sounds, creepy sounds. A Locrian sounds like you're coming, like, you know, razor blades on a chalkboard and you're scaring people. It sounds like a really dysfunctional, discombobulated thing. Lydian scale sounds like you're going into outer space with Joe Satriani or something like that. King of the Lydian mode, right? Then Ionian mode is basically your standard mode. That's your regular, you know, major scale, and then, you know, Dorian is your minor scale, stuff like that. So when you know about these things, you can apply them. Well, the rudiments are going to be the same thing. When you get them down perfectly, you apply them. So my goal for the second year is to get the rudiments down without trying to overforce it, because if you overforce it, you usually just end up learning bad habits. You got to let things come to you naturally. So learn what it is, and once you have it ingrained in yourself, then it's just a matter of where do I use it, right? And I think that's a good way to go. But that said, I know, like, I'm gearing this drum kit up more for rock and metal. I mean, I got 7 and 8 string guitars, the 7 strings in another room. I got guitars all over the place. And I'm going to be getting more too. Yeah. But you get the idea of that. For the first year, you know, rather than learning things that I'm not going to use, you know, really, like, for example, I do want a set of brushes, but how often am I going to use brushes, you know, in the stuff I'm doing, right? So it's all that. Learning grooves and stuff like that is something that second year I'm really going to focus on that. Pedal work, because I think the best drummers in the world, the drummers you like the most are the ones that have the best feet. You know what I mean? Like it's their foot beat, whether it's single pedal or double pedal, that's what gets you going, is that. The fills and stuff like that, I mean, I do basic fills or whatever. I will try more complicated fills probably the second half of the second year. For now, I'm just sticking with, you know, simple fills, work more on the solid with the beat. Yeah, I got to work more with the metronome. You know, for the videos, I usually don't use the metronome, but I do use the metronome quite a bit. Different tempos, all that stuff. It's harder to play slower than it is to play faster on a lot of stuff. That's one thing you'll notice. But getting it tight, getting all that stuff, it comes in time. So yeah, in 1 year's time, I think I've done pretty good on the drums. Could I play a 3-hour gig? I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. I know I could do at least an hour without getting tired at all. It depends on what I'd be playing. Like if I was playing like regular, like in that 120 to 140 range, I could probably do that for at least an hour, 2 hours, no problem. Unless I'm doing like, speed blast beats each time, whatever. Okay, maybe I can't do the blast beats for 2 hours straight, but I could probably play like in a country band. I'd be fine for 3 hours, because everything's, under 140 BPM mostly. Very, very little stuff is over that. Most of it's between, like 80 and 120, yeah, I'll be fine with that, The rock stuff, let's say that's, kind of just clipping along between 120 and 140 and hitting 150. Yeah, I probably could do that for about 2 hours, depending on the beats. There'd be more basic rock beats and a little bit of, blasts on the double pedal every now and then. Sure, could do that. Metal, I could probably last for about a half an hour. Where if it was like blast beats at 175 or 220, that kind of thing, I could barely hit. I can hit 220, but not for long periods of time. Where I'm doing like whole notes at 220 or something like that. A 16th notes at 220. Or sorry, eighth notes at 220. 16th, no. Wow, that'd be fast. But like, on the beat, you know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at. So that'd be like a half an hour, 45 minutes, that kind of thing. That'd be a lot of fun, but I'd be, I'd really have to know my stuff to do that. So I'm not there yet. It takes a while, right? It takes a while. But I do know that I'm playing very relaxed. I have absolutely no sensation of injury whatsoever.